And since it is Friday, is the day that we do the utmost analysis. Joining me in studio on my immediate left, weighing 260 pounds and with a southpaw style, is none other than Dr. Tobias Alweni. Dr. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Noah. Yes.
What have you learned this week that is very interesting that you didn't know last week?
Probably how to, I don't know how you can manage this heat situation in terms of what benefit can it give us? I don't know. I mean, probably we can generate something.
Okay. The heat?
Yes.
You've been feeling heat?
Yes, I'm feeling heat. Yeah.
Which country has Dr. been
Kenya.
On? Really?
Yes, it is hot.
It is
Kenya.
hot, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Quite interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good observation, man. I've been seeing the Kenya Met, they give us maps and predictions. It's going to rain in Nairobi. You carry an umbrella, then it doesn't. But all is well. But good to see you. Looking healthy as always. Also joining us in studio, the one and only Ken Gishinga from Metro Economics. Ken, good to see you, man. Talk to me about this week. What have you learned that you didn't know last week?
Good to see you, Noah. Thank you for having me. I've been doing a bit of research on Mozambique, and interesting, their currency is a very interesting, has a history. So the northern part of Mozambique uses US dollars and the Mozambican meticais, and the southern part of Mozambique uses the South African rand and the Mozambican meticais. So it's an interesting country with almost three currencies really operating at the same time.
That's quite interesting. Hey, okay, that's super cool. Now I'm curious about Mozambique. Yeah, what's happening right there? But gentlemen, thank you very much for making time. We start off definitely with our top of agenda, east or west, home is best. So let's talk matters eTIMS, where all businesses, regardless of annual turnover, are now required to raise eTIMS invoices. This follows the gazettement of the Tax Procedures Regulations 2024. The earlier proposal to exempt any business with annual turnover of 5 million shillings and below was thrown out. Prior to the 31st March deadline, 728,000 enterprises were yet to comply with the directive out of the 915,000 enterprises targeted. And starting with you, Dr. just looking at this issue of eTIMS, the back and forth. First of all, do you understand eTIMS? Because a lot of people have been finding it difficult. How do I onboard? What's the purpose, especially if you're doing your normal hustle out there?
eTIMS, Noah, is electronic tax management information system, and it's a way of trying to digitize taxation function. And this probably for most ordinary people might be a challenge. There needs to be some kind of guidance, direction on the same. For the people that are established in business, they might find it easier because they will employ people who understand the system and are able to onboard. However, last, I think it's 2 months ago, we had a simplified way of doing eTIMS, but it is not also so much common to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise,
light.
Yeah, but otherwise it is just a way of ensuring that the informal sector is brought on board. Okay. You remember one of the issues is how to actually get the informal sector also participate in terms of revenue generation.
Okay.
Yes.
Ken, this eTIMS situation, we've seen initially there was that proposal of if your annual turnover is 5 million and below, then you should be exempted from this. But when it was gazetted, actually, Gazette number, I think 64 for the year 2024, that was actually all businesses now are required to be onboarded on eTIMS. This change, what do you think inspired it?
I think it's just part of the government trying to ramp up revenue collection. As Prof has said, we have a big informal sector in this country. Almost 80% of the labor market really is in the informal space. So it's part of the IMF conditions on raising revenue collection, widening the tax base. But there's also something interesting that the CS Chelugui said, which I don't think a lot of people have digested as he was talking to farmers. He said this will also be a means of data collection. And I found that extremely interesting. So it's not just a revenue collection, but it's an element of data collection. So farmers who are avocado farmers, dairy farmers, this will be a way that the government uses for gathering data on who is planting what, who is growing what. And I think it's a very curious angle that has not been analyzed deep enough. So I think there are many reasons behind this.
Okay, quite interesting. And talking about data and where we are, for the past, I think, post-COVID and the whole talk around containing inflation, raising of interest rates, and also the government ramping up borrowing with its papers, looking at the rates of the T-bonds and the treasury bills. Those figures were going alarmingly high. People wondering what's happening with the Kenyan market. Well, it seems the interest rates